Real Talk disclaimer. The information provided by the host on this platform is for education and awareness purposes only. All information provided on this platform is provided in good faith. We make no representation or warranty of any kind, express or implied, regarding the accuracy, validity, and reliability of information shared by the host or show guests. The views and opinions of guests on the show do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of the host of Real Talk. Under no circumstances do the host, show guests, sponsors, or affiliates assume responsibility for the actions of any viewer.
I'm Z. Andre Huff, your Gadsden School Board representative for District 3. In 2017, I vowed to be the voice for our community, and I've done just that. I was instrumental in hiring Mr. Tony Reddick, our system's first African-American superintendent. I served as the first board chairman as a minority voted by my colleagues for 2 years on the first elective Gadsden School Board. I led with integrity and transparency and promoted fair and diverse policies, insisting daily safety and security of all students and staff. I continue to promote a quality education that will shape all children into college and career readiness. Just as I've fought in the past, I'm determined to keep on fighting for our community in District 3. On August 23rd, I'm asking for your support at the polls. Please help me help you. Re-elect Z. Andre Huff to the Gadsden School Board of Education District 3, the vowed voice that fights for you. This is a political paid advertisement to re-elect Z. Andre Huff to the Gadsden School Board of Education District 3. I'm Z. Andre Huff, and I approve this message. Well, welcome to Real Talk. Glad to have all of you to join us on today. It is the day before. That's right, the day before you go to work. The day before you go to work. Now, all the candidates have actually shared their platforms. They're knocking on doors. They're asking for your votes. And the only way that the fate of Gadsden would be decided is by the voice of the citizens, which is you. That's right, you. Let's say hello to all of our viewers. So far, they have joined us. Miss Katrina Davis. Hello to you. Hello, Miss Tara Marbury Townsend. Miss Cynthia Hort. Hello to you. Glad to have all of you on. Several ways that you can actually join us here on Real Talk. Several ways. One way is on Facebook Live. That's right, Facebook Live. Go to Z. Andre Huff page. Go to Real Talk with Pastor Z and Bishop T. or go to Tanya Latham's page. We're on all type of platform. We also are on YouTube. That's right. We're on YouTube. Go to our page, Real Talk with Pastor Z and Bishop T. Like and subscribe, if you will. We have a Twitter page. We ask that you would join that as well. R Talk with Z and T at R Talk with Z underscore T. We're glad to have you. This is a special edition. Hello, Pastor Steve Smith. How are you doing? Running for District 2 on tomorrow. He's a candidate for District 2. And we wish you all the best of luck. Hello, my beautiful, wonderful, amazing co-host. How are you on tonight?
I am well, and you're just putting it on tonight. You're
Hey,
putting it on. How
can I
how
tell
are
you, I am in great spirits. I am in great spirits. I'm excited.
one
I'm
more
happy.
day?
Yeah, one more day.
One more day.
Come on.
I thank God. We've got one more day.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
One. How they used to do in church.
One more
One
day.
more day.
Yes. One
Yes,
more
yes,
day.
yes. It has
We
been
got
an
one.
experience. And how are you doing?
I'm good.
You good?
I am good.
Okay.
Uh,
Well,
I'm excited, and I'm excited to see the people line up, go in the polls, come out the polls with a smile on their face, knowing that they have done their job. They have actually cast. And here's what I want people to do. I want the people to be happy with the vote that they cast out. I don't want anybody to try to make them feel guilty about them using their vote and how they're using their vote. I just want people to be happy and feel when it's all over. I did my part to make Gadsden different. Gadsden, a place where everybody that lives in Gadsden, Alabama, can be proud of. So I'm excited about that. Hello, Minister Di. How are you? I'm thanking you for praying that we all get out and vote tomorrow. Thank you. Now, Minister Di, everybody know, was a foot soldier. They believed in doing what you had to do in order to get the results that you was trying to get. Now, here's what I've understood Einstein to say that anyone that looking for different results doing the same thing is insane. It's called insanity when I'm expecting to receive a different result when I'm constantly doing the same thing. So, I mean, I don't know what you're going to take from that, but if you sit at home, don't look for things to change. If you go to the poll, expect for some change. Watch this. We can believe, and you know, you're a pastor, I'm a pastor, Bishop Steve is a pastor, and we can believe all day long with faith. We can have the faith. Oh, Gadsden is going to be a great place to live in. You can have faith all day long, but the Bible even speaks that faith without works is dead. So what you can do that. What you can do that. So we come on tonight, and we wanted to share with you all the day before the big day. We're not going to be with you long, but we want to share with you and try to encourage you on getting out and voting, getting out and voting. So we want to cap it off a little bit and just share with you some of the things that we have in mind to do. So Bishop Latham, uh, what are some of the things that you plan to do when you're elected for District 1?
Well, the first thing, the most important thing that I desire to do, that I'm going to do, is set up. Um, I don't know how often, whether they'll be quarterly, whether they'll be monthly forums and town hall meetings for District One, and make to bring awareness, and to inform them, make them aware and inform them of what's going on in the city. And not only that, but to hear their concerns, to uh, hear their desires, and be their voice at City Hall. That's one of the most important things that I would like to do, is build that trust and faith that what those constituents are desiring and wanting will be voiced, and not only voiced but carried out, um, at the City Hall. And then the second thing is to immediately, um, began to began to clean District One, work together to clean District One, and to make the streets, the communities safe, as safe, and whatever we need to do in that area. But I do want to build that relationship with District One, so that they know that I'm stressing their concerns. I'm voicing their opinions, um, as it relates to uh, District One, and that's short term. That's short term, but I want them to know that I'm going to be speaking your desires, your concerns there, and then just to immediately start doing what we can to get our communities cleaned up, get our streets cleaned up, and to make them safe. To make them safe. Yeah, I don't know if Pastor Crumple is talking to me or you, but I will do that if she talk. Whichever one, we'll both do.
Yes, yes, we'll definitely do that. Um, so how do you feel? Uh, how did you feel when you went out and you talked to some of the individuals? What kind of feedback did you get from the constituents in District One? Um, did they share any complaints, or was they just glad to be able to talk to someone who could possibly be their voice or represent them once given the opportunity at City Hall?
Well, I will say this, for the most part, I'm not going to say people were negative. I think they were just stressing concerns and being real. A lot of what I heard was, uh, you're the first candidate to come to our neighborhood or to knock on our door. I heard that. And then people just don't know what's going on. They don't know what's going on. Whether that's isolated to District 1, or whether it is a city council and mayor problem. People in District 1 are not aware of things that are going on. Believe it or not, some of the constituents in District 1 did not know about some key things that had gone on and transpired uh, throughout, in the last year or two. So I hear that we don't know what's going on. So some kind of way, I've got to get the constituents of District 1 involved. I've got to bring us together, not as black people, not as white people, but as District 1. And we've run on that. We are one.
Yeah,
It's going to take all of us working together to make a better district, to make better neighborhoods, and to make a better community. And so that's what we're gonna do. We've not campaigned the way we've campaigned to just be known as the city council woman for District 1. We've campaigned to go in and work, to go in and serve. But we've got to work together. I can't do it by myself. The community can't do it alone. We've got to work together. We've got to work together, not only in District 1, but we've got to work together with the other councilmen and the other districts to make Gadsden um, a better city to live in. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that. We want to hear the concerns, whether they be good, bad, it's how they feel. I will be at City Hall representing District 1, speaking for District 1, advocating for District 1, promoting District 1, working to make District 1 better, but also working with the other councilman and with the mayor and with our school system to support our school system. It's what we have to do. It's mandatory, and so that's what we're gonna do. So we're excited and we're hoping for a win on tomorrow. That's where we are. I know that I have some work to do to build that trust and confidence uh, with District 1, and so we're excited, hoping, and anticipating to start a work. So,
And that's one thing I was going to ask you. I'm trying to send myself something so we can put it up on the screen. But
okay,
that was something that I was going to ask you, uh, involving the community. How we get the community involved, and here's why I want to go with that, because the same issue that we have with the city, we have with the school, parent involvement. And I hear a lot of people say, we don't know what's going on. Well, do you try to go to the meetings to try to find out what's going on? Is the question. Okay, like school board meetings, like PTSOs for the local schools. We need people showing up for these places in the school system. We really need parents to get involved to make a difference, to represent. A lot of times, the uh, schools that are the population of the African American is not represented because we don't have parents. And I understand there are single parents, and I understand that we have people that are working, um, but we got to figure out a way that we can get involved, eliminate excuses. There's no reason someone shouldn't know who their city council or school board representative is when they have meetings every month, and with city council they have meetings every week. Demand, call those people, hold those people accountable. When you put them in office, it's your job. You're pretty much the constituents is like they have employed you
right,
because you're working for them. You're the only representative for their area that is sitting at City Hall, that have a meeting at the table with the other department heads, or not department heads, but councilmen and the mayor. So you're the one who's representing them when you're sitting up there, and that people have to realize that when you elect someone, you want someone sitting at the table that think like you, look like you, and act like you. You want someone that's you, even behind the closed doors that they're not privy to. They can trust and know that the very person that's representing them is actually sitting at that table and saying what needs to be said, regardless of other folks' opinion. You know that you're shouldering the people of District 1 on your back. Like I know that I'm shouldering the people of District 3 on my back. I want what's best for District 3 as a school board member. I want to see my parents get involved. I want you, there are some things you need to do earlier on before they even get in Head Start. If you can start putting a book in their hand, and trying to get them to read at the age of 3, that would be tremendous. That would be tremendous. We got to teach those things. The very things we're expecting the teachers to teach in the system, we've got to do it at home. Got to
Well,
practice it.
right. And here is what I feel. Because when you really think about it, how many people can attend a council meeting at what is it, 10, 11 o'clock during the day?
True.
You know, so
What is your suggestion on that?
and that's what I
Talk
was
about
about to say. That's what I was about to say. Somewhere we have got to figure out, come up with a way to make our meetings accessible. Yes, even with that, with our schools, how do we get our parents involved? But I will say this: I feel this way, and that I think I kind of live by this. Will you ever get 100%? But you've got to strive to do that. And so I'm one, I will continue to strive for it, work to see how we can get it done, and look at today. Now, just like the council meeting, it is at 11 o'clock,
Okay.
but it is on Facebook or it's on social media, so you can go back and you can view it. You know, so whatever we can do or however we have to do to make those meetings accessible, to get parents involved at school. Does every PTO meeting or PTSO meeting have to be in the evening at 5 or 6? Maybe there's another day. So, but in order to do that, we've got to sit down and take the time and want it to be
I think at
available and
one time,
accessible.
I think at one time or another, they was doing at city council 2 meetings in the morning and 2 meetings in the evening because they were having four a month.
Right.
Um, and I'm gonna tell you what could possibly have been the reason when you do adjust the times for the ones that say that's an issue, the very ones that says it's an issue don't show up at those times.
But here's
See,
the
we
thing.
got see we can make excuses. We can make excuses all day long. But when things are just for you to support, are you supporting? Are you showing up?
But
Because let me tell you something. A lot of things, and I'm gonna say this because I love my people now, but I've seen this take place, and I say this all the time. A lot of things took place at City Hall because we allowed it to. I'm guilty as well. I haven't. I took off a couple times for meetings that I knew that was going to be some intense meetings that they really needed our support. But let's be honest. Do you think that Mayor Guyton, the current mayor, along with this council, would have done or made some decisions had that council chambers was filled with a lot of constituents who was feeling the opposite way of the way they probably voted? Do you think they would have went on through with that had they seen all the concerns and the constituents in there?
no, I don't. I feel like things would have gone the other way. But here's a statement that I want to make. Leave little room for excuses. And when I say leave room for little excuses, little or no excuses, okay, the meeting is changed, but it's still available. You see what I'm saying? That's how I feel. Then we talk about decisions that were made that we weren't aware of or that we were not sitting there for in those chambers. That then goes down to a breakdown between council and their district, the council person and their district. I think that if we go in, because this could be a totally new council, it's gonna be a new mayor. We've got to go in with the frame of mind. You said something on your video to re-elect you. You said transparent. How much do they? We've got to be transparent, and we've got to do what we need to do to make it accessible. And we already know we can sit up and complain for days about our parents and complain about the constituents of these districts, but to some degree, some parents never gonna come. Some people in these districts are never gonna come to a meeting.
Right.
And they're gone. Let me tell you something. When I was doing T-shirts, I would go to different conferences and flea markets and try to sell my prints and sell my T-shirts. And I would do blanks, meaning that I would just have blank T-shirts, all different colors. It was almost like some people would walk up to the table, see what color I didn't have, and ask for that color. I come back the next week with a turquoise T-shirt, and they wouldn't even show up to buy the T-shirt. So you got a mentality of people that it's just gonna be what it's gonna be. If you selling oranges, they want apples. If you got bananas, they want grapes. They walk up and see what you don't have, and that's what they want. But I'm saying I'm gonna do everything in my power, Pastor.
Oh my goodness.
Remain positive. You understand what I'm saying?
That was good.
And do what I can to bring us together, for us to work together for the good of the district. If it needs to be, if we need to do a council meeting in the evening, okay, do it in the evening. But it won't be on my part or on the city council's part that we didn't try to accommodate.
And that's the key. And that's the key.
Got to, yeah. Don't let it be. Let it be on just like if we choose not to go to the polls tomorrow.
Okay.
Then you suffer the consequences
of
not going and don't open your mouth.
All right. Okay. So you said from minutes ago that there's never going to be, pretty much you can kind of guarantee that there's not going to ever be 100%. Okay. And there are some people just is not going to show up for meetings. Some people that's not going to get involved. And we know that the turnouts have been very low. I think, is it 35,000 citizens in Gadsden, the population? And I think a lot less has went to vote. Less than 10,000 has turned out for the last municipal election. Here's the thing. Again, she said something, and I said this at the beginning of the show. The definition of insanity is expecting something different doing the same thing. If you stay at home, don't look for anything to change. Listen, you have the right to vote. People sacrificed their life. People died. People went to jail. A lot of things took place for our forefathers that gave us the privilege to have to be able to use our voice through a vote. And listen, my brothers and my sisters, go and speak loud tomorrow when you go to the polls and mark that ballot for the very one that you're expecting to represent. Let's see what this young lady said. There are many problems with the rules of the city council, and one who wants to address the council has to apply to get on the docket. Then they give them 5 minutes. How can the council meet the needs of the people if they don't take some time to hear what the problems are, and are the time used for pre-councils could be used to hear from the people? And that's good. And that's something, if elected, and I know Pastor Steve is on here and you're on here, and I don't know of any other candidates that's on here, But if you're elected, that's something to consider, because I've heard people be rude with people. They have the alarm go off, and I understand you get 5 minutes, but if you are really concerned about people, give them an opportunity to explain what their issues are. And if you can't help them during the meeting, why don't you talk to them after the meeting? Do something to help them. Mr. Bill Avery is on. Thank you, Mr. Avery, for being on. Thank you, Mr. Pastor Smith. Thank you. Who did we say that was on here? Pastor
Let me,
Steve.
this is something I kind of lost my train of thought, but let me say this. You said something a few minutes ago. Public officials need to know that they were hired by the constituents of their district.
Employed, yeah, exactly.
Employed, whatever we want to call
that's what I said.
you. I say what now?
I'll just remind you, that's what I said, that the people that vote for you pretty much employ you.
Employed you. You
right.
want me to just use the word employed. Okay.
No, you don't have to do that. I'll just tell you that's what I said.
See. Okay.
We having fun, ain't we?
Baby, we got to.
Baby, one more day.
Listen, I remember a older preacher. She used to say, "You just got to laugh to keep from crying." Mm-hmm. So that's what we choose. We are making a choice.
It's a joy. Laugh. It's a joy.
You're getting me out of my point.
Okay, go ahead.
You said it. We've been employed. We're employed by. That's right, Miss Charlotte. We've been employed by the people. We're not here. I've heard some good stuff from a lot of different candidates. We've got to understand we've been put in these positions by the people of the community, by the people of the district. And that's who we're here to serve. We're not here to serve ourselves and make a name for ourselves, but we're here to serve the constituents of our district. That's what we're here to do. Let me tell you, one of the challenges throughout the campaign was to keep the morale of the people who were working with me, who were putting forth their efforts, to keep that momentum and that morale while we were campaigning. We've got to go into this new cycle, this new term, raising the morale and the momentum.
You got to. You said something then.
Listen.
You said something then.
We've got to do it. We've got to raise the morale, the momentum. We've got to. And whatever we can do to make that happen, that's what we've got to do. Do you remember when there was question about the budget and the school system being cut out of the budget? I was to contact those councilmen. Well, I thought I could reach those councilmen personally. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now understand, you are an elected official. I thought it was it. Well, you go through the clerk to get through to them. And some of those things I had never heard of that before. Mm-hmm. I had never heard of it.
And only two came on the show.
To
right. Really express the reason behind the way they voted. And that was Mr. Worthy and Mr. Wilson. Mm-hmm.
So, so my thing is that for District 1, I want to be accessible and approachable. They got to feel like they can come to me. They can get to me. How am I going to represent you if I don't know what your concern is to the public? You're a public official. I had never heard of that. So we've got to do something to get the momentum. Listen, from the East Coast to the West Coast, North and South, we have had enough in the state of Alabama and in this county, in this city, we've had enough of negativity. People, listen, people want to see us. We don't have to agree, but at least we ought to be able to sit in the same room. And I don't, listen, I've got to have tough skin. There are going to be some people in District 1 that's not going to agree with me. I can't fly off the handle just because they don't agree. And then I say it all the time, morals and values have to come in. Where's the respect for the next person?
Yeah, yeah. You said something about morale, building under morale. When all this is over, the morale has got to come up. And this is what I want to say to everyone that's on every side of the table. If your candidate don't win, I believe that we all need to come together, sit down at a table, and let's talk. There's some people gonna have to need to apologize. They're gonna definitely need some apologies, and there's gonna need some time to heal from some of the low blows that was taken and given, and forgiveness. We all know how to forgive, but and I don't know where it'll go from that after you forgive, but definitely, even and listen. Let me say this. There's a group that's in the city that wants. I believe they want what's best for Etowah County. I don't have no problem with them. It's Advance Etowah. I want them to come to the table. I want everybody involved that has had issues with what's been going on in Gadsden for the last year or so to come to a table and sit down without a camera and without a mic, without an audience. So we gonna have to be trying to impress folks that's looking and really ain't about what we're trying to act like we're about. It's time to be real. And if we want to move this city forward, it's gonna take all of us working together. You can't have a group over here that think they're gonna run the city. It ain't gonna happen. Regardless, somebody outside the circle is going to be in a position that's going to be able to make the decisions. And you need them to buy into, to agree, to understand what your plan for the city would be. We all have ideas. We all have plans, but we can only go with one plan. And if we all can come into a common knowledge and agree to what it is, then it's the same way on the school board. I don't always agree with everything that is done, but when I look at what we have and what we faced up against, then I don't mind trying some things because I know what we're doing right now isn't working, and there are some things that me and some of my colleagues bump heads on. But then there are some things, even if we bump heads on it, we come to the understanding, here is where I stand. Because just as much as you represent District 6, I represent 5, I don't know, but I represent District 3. And just as much as you feel like you have a voice, I have a voice. And I have no problem listening to you, but I need you to listen to me too. And that's the thing that we got to do. The morale has got to come up, and I believe regardless, because that's why I say it, win or lose for me, I'm celebrating. I'm celebrating. And if I can help anybody when it's over with, I'll be willing to help them. I'll really to tell them, what they can, what they can't do. I'll be willing, I'm still going to show up for board meetings. I'm still going to be able to make some calls to some principals, people I have relationships with or develop relationships with when I was on the school board. And the parents still can call me, and I would do all I can to help their children. I'm not going to stop working. And listen, it won't be no hard feelings. I ain't going to ask for a recount. I ain't going to complain and say they got it all wrong. I'm going to take the loss and go on about my business and bid the next man farewell. Good job. Go do your best. blah 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 blah. But we got to have that type of attitude that I don't know what this first
Well,
place trophy or what we're fighting about. I don't understand why people are so hitting below the belt and arguing and putting each other down.
you know why?
Again, this is Gadsden. This is the village that we live in. And when it's all over, we're going to bump into each other at Walmart. Then
And
what?
here's the thing. Here's the thing. We either gonna all swim together or we either gonna all sink together. It's just like on this show. And I know sometimes even with you and I on the show, we've had heated disagreements just between us. But
Mm-hmm.
we don't fall out about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to start acting ugly with you and rolling my eyes and talking about you and try to pull up dirt on you. It goes back to who you are.
That's right.
Who are you? When you sitting in these places, from the mayor to whatever it is, who are you? When you see this negativity coming out, this is who people are. When we've had people to lash out in the last 6 months because of differences of opinions, it is who people are. I'm not going to allow somebody else's negative disposition to change who I am. I'm just there. Listen, there are certain things that God willing, I will go into this position with, and at the end of whatever my tenure is, I will come out with the. There are just some things. Everybody is due respect.
That's right.
I
That's
may
right.
not agree with what you're saying, but I
Right.
will respect you enough to hear what
Yeah.
you're saying.
That's right. That's
And
right.
then if I see you in Walmart, I ought to be able to speak, even though, and let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. We have had to rise above.
Yeah.
So when you hear Bishop Smith say one more day, when you hear Pastor Huff say one more day, when you hear Tanya say one more day, we're not saying one more day just because we had a problem with the constituents that we were talking to. We had a problem with the neighborhoods that we were going
That's
into.
right.
We're thankful for one more day that maybe people will say, "Oh, the election is over. I'll stop talking about them. I'll
Oh,
stop being negative
well,
about them."
well,
Because we had to rise above. You
right.
understand what I'm saying? And
I
I
got you.
know, it's just like when you sitting on the sideline and you watching your son or your daughter play ball. You know, there may be a person from the opposite team that's sitting there that may say something that you can't just jump up and like the young man that got killed, the coach that got killed a few days ago. Come on, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are
Yeah.
we doing? And so, right, when you say that we've got to come together, we've got to sit down, and here it is. Your expectations may be too high because you may never get an apology from someone. We may never, people don't always feel the need to apologize.
You're
So
right.
what do I do?
Forgive anyway and move on.
And move on.
Move
What
on.
I used to say, my grandmother used to always say, you're never going to be able to chase and run down a lie.
That's right.
And then my grandmother would say, you be the bigger person.
That's right.
You be the bigger person. And
You
sometimes,
just recognize what you're dealing with. That's all you got to do.
exactly, and
Recognize what
stop
you're dealing
having
with.
high expectations for people who don't have any
That's right.
morals
And
and any
quit,
values.
quit. Wait till the jury come in before you make your final say. Sometimes they're deliberating, and they ain't even came back in yet, and we already. Oh, that's a good person. The jury coming. Wait for the jury. Wait for the jury. But Bishop, I want you to take about 60 seconds to encourage the people to come to the polls and Your final 60 seconds before
These my
uh,
final 60 seconds.
final 60 seconds. We got to get off here.
I want to encourage everyone to come to the polls and vote on tomorrow. Let's make this a record turnout. Let's
Record.
make this a record. Whoever you're voting for, let's let it be said tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock that this was a record
Yes.
turnout.
Yes.
Whoever you voting for mayor, for your district, for whatever, let's make it a record turnout. And with my 25 seconds left, I am asking District 1 to show up tomorrow. Let's show up in record numbers and vote Tanya Lynn Latham, City Councilwoman for District 1. And I thank you in advance.
Okay, all right. I got 60 seconds.
You got 6.
I got
You
60
take
seconds.
65
Listen,
seconds.
I want to encourage, and Bishop Latham said something that is very true. We need to show up in record numbers. When you show up and you line up and you got news media here, it actually says something when you go to the polls and vote. People will definitely know that we as citizens are fed up with the status quo. We fed up with things being the norm, and it has come to be the norm of the way things are going in this city. We could make history. We could make history here in Gadsden. We can put new blood at City Hall, and we're expecting to do that if you just go to the polls and vote. Not only at City Hall, but you're going to be also looking to make a difference at the Board of Education. I'm running for re-election. I'm asking for you to put me back in as your Gadsden School Board District 3 so that we can continue to fight for the safety and for our children, that we can continue to make fair policies and diverse policies, that we can continue to actually employ the top educators that is actually applying for positions in our city, that everybody will deserve an opportunity to work right there at the Board of Education, employed by the Board of Education, and put into our school system. We love you, and we pray God's blessings on you. Please go to the polls. They open up at 7 o'clock and they close at 7 p.m.
12 hours.
12 hours. They're going to be open. There is no excuse. My mama has already told me, Dre, I need you to take me to the poll in the morning. So let me know when you come and get me, and I'm going. So everyone, go to the polls and vote for the person of your choice. Let's make a difference. Let's make a difference in our city. Thank you all for your best wishes. Thank you all for your good luck. Thank you all for tuning in to our special edition of Real Talk. We'll be back Thursday after the election. Hopefully.
Best wishes to you, Pastor.
Same to you, Bishop. Oh, let me do this before I go. Tomorrow. Boom. Boom. The Election Watch Party night is going down. 210 at the tracks out. That's what I was trying to upload. 210s at the tracks. That's tomorrow from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. We're going to have music from my brother, Sean Huff, a.k.a. DJ Shownuff. Is going to be in the house. We're also going to have food catered by Real Bone. Amen. We're going to have food catered. We're going to have a good time. Come on out. 210 at the track. We'll be right there. That's right. There it is. There it is. There it is. We're going to have a good time. And best wishes again to you. We love you.
To you
and
too, Pastor. Love you too.
All of you
best
have.
Wishes to all the candidates.
That's right. All the candidates. Best wishes. Hope to talk to you soon. Have a blessed night. I'm Z. Andre Huff, your Gadsden School Board representative for District 3. In 2017, I vowed to be the voice for our community, and I've done just that. I was instrumental in hiring Mr. Tony Reddick, our system's first African American superintendent. I served as the first board chairman as a minority voted by my colleagues for 2 years on the first elective Gadsden School Board. I led with integrity and transparency and promoted fair and diverse policies, insisting daily safety and security of all students and staff. I continue to promote a quality education that will shape all children into college and career readiness. Just as I've fought in the past, I'm determined to keep on fighting for our community in District 3. On August 23rd, I'm asking for your support at the polls. Please help me help you. Re-elect Z. Andre Huff to the Gadsden School Board of Education District 3, the vowed voice that fights for you. This is a political paid advertisement to re-elect Z. Andre Huff to the Gadsden School Board of Education District 3. I'm Z. Andre Huff, and I approve this message. Okay, normally would be done went off by now, but this is funny. Did you catch that? She said it's watch party, not watch night.
Put it back up there.
A watch night party. I didn't see that. I thought everybody would laugh at that.
That's all right. It's watch night. It's gonna be watch night. That's all right, Miss Charlotte. That's all right. We're gonna have a watch night.
I hear you. All right.
We'll let you take the text, Pastor.
No. We're gonna take a text, all right. We're gonna party like it's 1999. Good night.